Hello, this is Troy with the Noble Grafted In middle position. And the grafted in part of the name, the noble means to use the Hebrew narrative. Run with the Hebrew narrative. Check the scriptures to see if what people are saying is true. And in order to do that, because there was no New Testament, you have to go back and look at the Hebrew Bible. I call it the KJV, the King Jesus version, which technically really would have been the what's called the Septuagint. A lot of times you'll see that as LXX because 70 scholars put it together. The grafted in says we're not alienated from the Commonwealth of Israel any longer because of Christ's death on the cross, removing the wall of hostility, and we're no longer strangers to the covenants, plural, of promise. So that's going to be tied to this Romans 11. The middle talks about the end times will be centered around Israel, Jerusalem, Israel, and the surrounding nations, not Europe. So I ask, did they stumble in order that they might fall? This is talking about Israel. By no means. Rather, through their trespass, salvation has come to the Gentiles, so as to make Israel jealous. That's our Deuteronomy 32, 2021 phrase. Now, if their trespass means riches for the world, and if their failure means riches for the Gentiles, so we're talking about Israel's failure. We're talking about Israel's failure and how that becomes a good thing for the Gentiles by God's mercy. But look at this right here. This is really important. How much more will their, speaking of the Israelites, their full inclusion mean? So Paul is absolutely certain there's a future for Israel. Full inclusion. Now I am speaking to you Gentiles. This is exactly the way he broke in Ephesians 2:12. Romans 11, the grafted in chapter, and Ephesians 2:12 are the same passage. And that's because he's breaking into Deuteronomy 32 and he's using that. Inasmuch as I am an apostle to the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry in order to somehow make my fellow Jews jealous and save some of them.